Sam Raimi's Evil Dead, which is a lot of comedy, and I like to put a lot of comedy into what I do. Sinister, most recently Barbarian, and this year probably Oddity. We originally set out to make a horror anthology, and in the process decided that we actually didn't want to make an anthology, but instead tell one long cohesive story. And so what we did is we shot a short film. We went back east, or sorry, back to LA. We cut it together, showed a whole bunch of friends, and the feedback was just so resoundingly positive that we decided to write what happened before and then what happened after. We went back to Massachusetts, continued shooting out the rest of the movie, and told a story that happens over 6 decades. So I think the passage of time is what really makes this different and interesting and engaging. Well, like I said, I think this was hugely inspired by films like Sinister, the use of 8 millimeter film. I liked in Barbarian how the entire story is incredibly unpredictable. 20 minutes in, it completely changes. You have no idea what this movie is going to be about, and only until the end can you actually look back on this film and be like, wow, so that's what the film is all about. And those are the types of stories that I just find really interesting and original. It's a good question. So in the very beginning, we are introduced to our main character, or at least our protagonist, who we think is going to be our main character, Apollo. And he's just a very likable, relatable kind of guy. And I don't want to spoil anything, but he doesn't have the best fate in the film. We pair him with another character who is very pushy and creepy, not in on the nose kind of creepy way, but in just a very realistic, just icky kind of way. And I love seeing the dynamic between someone who is just so genuine and open and honest and someone who has very ill intentions. I don't think there's ever been a script that I've written where we haven't gone through several iterations. On this one, Victoria and I must have gone through about 10 drafts of each section of the film. So there aren't, specific story points that I can recall that we changed completely. But we did go through multiple drafts on this one. My intention with this film is to create a hybrid of very cinematic and slow moving imagery, much like Sinister, where you feel like you're watching this big, high production value film. But we also wanted to juxtapose that with a found footage element. We did that creatively because we think that it makes the story a lot more realistic when you can constantly cut to a mini DV camera or a creepy, super 8 millimeter camera or a VHS camcorder, which we actually shot practically on. This is the same camera that was used in Back to the Future. We also did that sort of out of necessity, just because it is a lot easier, a lot cheaper to shoot on those types of mediums.